Hey guys, sorry about that. I don't know what is going on my end. Hopefully this works. There we go. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. Oh my goodness. Technology. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you were on a roll. I feel so bad.
No, no, it's fine.
All right, continue.
Okay, so I was mentioning, so our services
I did
fall
save
under
it, Bree. Bree just asked if I
five,
saved it. Yeah.
five primary areas. So I'll just kind of go over the first one briefly. So that's
Hmm.
administrative, and that's anything paperwork related. So if you need resumes, CVs, bios, writers, contracts, business plans, presentations, content planners, portfolios. So anything that falls under anything to do with those
Hmm.
fall under administrative. Then
Okay.
we have HR, which is human resources, and that focuses on recruitment and personnel, which is basically staffing and things that kind of fall under that.
Okay.
So in my company, I kind of call that a resource agent or resource agent services,
Hmm.
where we basically source or acquire people for specific jobs. So that might be a session musician, a teacher, a conductor, composer, arranger, dancers, actors, engineers, you name it. If you're
Right.
doing something and you need somebody for it, that's one of the, I guess, perks about doing performing arts. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely have a nice resource pool that I can tap into colleagues and old classmates who are, who are doing really well, and they can really come on board.
Nice.
Or if you need assistance, or if you need assistance with recruitment for your band, as I mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
So if you're a new band, or if you're sort of defunct and kind of trying to reinvent yourself, and you want to do recruitment, like we would help you sort of put together a plan
Okay.
to kind of get that going and help you build that infrastructure in your community. So then we have number three would be education. And as I mentioned earlier, that falls under artist development.
Right.
So anything that sort of the artist requires in that developmental area, it could be literacy, getting educated in your field, you may want to go to school, it's sharing just tools for success on the
Mhm.
artist development. And then we have coaching on techniques and skills or advising on how you can, as I mentioned, further education and those sort of requirements.
Okay.
Um, and then there's also a partner company that I partner with to do sort of scoring and transcribing as well. And yeah, we do workshops and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So two more. I'm
Oh,
not done yet.
okay.
so so then we have operations, and operations is a bit of a chunk.
Okay.
Um, and it took me a while to sort of really flesh out like a lot of what that would be because operations can be very weighty.
Yeah.
Um, but like a major part of that is logistics, dealing with logistics, social media, in a sense, sometimes finance, sponsorship, small projects, and of course, talent management.
Okay.
So logistics kind of really focuses on planning and implementing or controlling like sort of the efficiency or the effective sort of systems that you have going on with depending on what you're doing with your services.
Right.
And that's just for example, if you're upgrading or creating a new system for storing instruments or you're buying new equipment and you want to create a database, you want to create a library for physical, whether it's physical or digital,
Yeah.
and doing the same with instruments and tools or just other things that you frequently use, and you want to create systems for that. That
Yeah.
sort of falls under operations and logistics.
Okay.
Uh, and the last one would be, well, I also mentioned talent management, which is sort
Hmm.
of self-explanatory, but we're kind of very a little bit more specific about how we go about talent management, because I'm kind of pretty selective about the clients that we choose, just based on whether or not we pair well, whether or not our kind of goals could align,
Right.
and whether they understand the nature of what the relationship should be, and how we could really support and promote what they're interested in.
Right.
And then the other area would be events,
Okay.
which focuses on productions, concerts, showcases, where stage and production management comes in, and any sort of services that are necessary for that. Yeah,
Right. So if I want to do a concert in Trinidad, I can just call you. Is that what you're saying?
100%.
Nice. Awesome. Bree has a question here. Can you share an example of a band, etc., that you worked with? You don't have to give names if you don't want to, but it would be great to hear some of your recent projects and results.
um, on anything specific or
Yeah, with a band or a soloist or whoever you worked with,
uh,
or a concert that you did.
well, I mean, we haven't done any concerts recently.
Well, yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Um, one really good show that solid plug here. I loved working with BSO. So of course this was in 2018 and 19, which would of course been the last time we got to actually do really good shows in person.
Right.
I was the stage manager for both of those shows, and it was just a really interesting production because a lot of the time that we spent in it, it was just vibes.
Right.
Because a lot of us, like, we've known each other for 12, 15 plus years since we were all like teenagers, and now we're all now coming up as young adults. And it was really great to see that they were trying to do something new in Brooklyn. And I was afforded the opportunity to work with them. And the shows overall was a really good success. I also got feedback from the show house that we used, and they were really pleased with the efficiency and the running of the shows. Because with Pan, things can be crazy,
Yeah.
and moving bands and moving people and kind of getting people to cooperate and dealing with outside and transportation, and it could
Yeah.
be crazy. But overall, the trying to remember the name. Why the name just escaped me? I was gonna the roulette.
Oh, okay.
In Brooklyn, they had spoken to me after both shows, and they were extremely pleased with the way the show turned out. Even though on one of the shows, like, we did start a little behind schedule just because of an obstacle that came up,
Of course.
but we still ended well before we needed to, still within time frame, and everything kind of went really well. So that was one of my uh, greater moments in working with a show.
Nice.
Another group that I worked with, well, last Panorama, I worked with Phase 2
Okay.
Junior Steel Orchestra. It was the first year that they came out,
Okay.
and I was fortunate enough to be on the committee for the junior band.
Nice.
And listen, the struggle, the struggles. And I mean, I love working with. So I actually started there separately from the junior band, because we started an academy, a music academy, Len
Okay.
Bugby. And when I moved back home, a co-lead, he was working with the band, and he was like, hey, we have this music program happening, come on board. So I was
Nice.
like, hey, a course has come, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So I went and checked it out, and then I started doing music lessons with the kids, and that transferred into the first time the band had a junior band go to Panorama. And
Oh,
it
wow.
was amazing, because we started out with very green children.
Right.
As in this is their first time playing pan ever.
Wow.
And it was very touch and go for a while, and we were like, we can make this work. We can make this work. We don't know how it's gonna work, but we can make this work.
Yeah, of course.
And we ended up with about, the school itself had well over 80 something plus children, and we were on a roll to enroll more students, but
Wow.
COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we went into Junior Panorama, and of course, not all of the children were eligible to play for Junior Panorama because a lot of them were really young. So I used to
Oh,
teach
okay.
the tiny tots, like 4 to 6, 4 to 7.
Oh, wow.
Um, so not all of them would have been able to play. So
Yeah,
then we had to do like a full 110% recruitment drive.
that's crazy.
As in, a crew was driving and I was jumping out the car to go hand out like
Flyers and stuff.
invitation letters to like schools, and then we ended up having about 85 children, which is 10 over the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a blessing to see how we went from like zero to, what are we going to do with all of these children? Like
Yeah.
we have way more than we need.
Oh my goodness.
So that was another really exciting experience that I had. And it was just unfortunate that COVID came and we couldn't really
Yeah.
do anything. But hopefully in the future we can kind of get that back up and running.
Oh, you will.
Um,
You will.
on the individual side, recently, so as I said, because of COVID, I've been working more one-on-one with people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I Over the last couple of weeks, I did several consultations. I was doing career mapping with some young artists.
Okay.
I was working with someone who was applying to university, and we sat down and sort of went over their professional or their artist, what they
Mm-hmm.
call it, statement of interest,
Okay.
for the application. And one of the things that we really talked about is that portion of your application needs to be very strong. And
Right.
I was so happy to hear, like a few weeks later, that they were successful in their application
That's good.
to get into their program. So
Nice.
that was great.
Awesome. So is this just for people in Trinidad, or can anyone give you a call?
So I
What's
definitely
your
have
limit?
an emphasis of so 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 let me give the proper name of the company is Mecca Management International.
Okay. Okay
But
then.
I do have an emphasis on Caribbean and Caribbean diasporas. So even if you're international and you're from the Caribbean diaspora,
Hmm.
Caribbean background, I got you.
Nice. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Oh my goodness. So if someone wants to do a concert in like Grenada, you're willing to travel and kind of help them out, or
100%.
yeah? Awesome.
That's not a question.
That's not a question. It's happening. It's just happening.
I am going anywhere. So one of the things that in my life, one of the things I've always had these ideas of things that I like to do. And of
Hmm.
course, you're never able to see the full picture. And I still can't see the full picture now.
Right.
But when I was young, I wanted to be a an air hostess
Okay.
because I just want to travel. Like I want to travel, and my mom used to travel a lot, so that I guess maybe that kind of bug came from her. But
Hmm.
I wanted to be an air hostess, and I wanted to be a singer too. But let's keep that one in the DL.
Wait, what?
I can't sing, so don't even ask me.
I wasn't gonna ask you. I was gonna say, why are you hiding this talent?
No,
No? Okay.
but yeah. So I wanted to be an air hostess, and as I got older, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to work with kids, and I wanted to do music, and I've been trying to figure out, okay, what what is this life, what is this career, what does this look like? And like I said, I still don't know the full picture, but I'm finally in a more comfortable place to see that picture that I was kind of wrestling with for the majority of my life, where I
Mm-hmm.
can do all of the things that I want to do and that I love to do and marry it into a career.
Yeah.
And I will segue that into saying that if you genuinely want to make music or instrumental, specifically pan, a career, especially in Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean, you have to create that space for yourself.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't exist.
Right.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't realize. Like we argue about a lot of different things, but the bottom line is the industry that I keep saying is an industry. It doesn't exist yet.
Mm.
And that is one of the reasons why I created my company, because it's an avenue to create the things that I want to see exist, because it's
Right.
not there yet. And somebody
Right.
has to start. And I mean, other people are doing things,
Mm-hmm.
but the more people realize that you have to create that avenue for yourself. And I learned that a long time ago. I've been wrestling with where, when, what, and what does it look like in a holistic picture. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going anywhere. Anywhere there's pan in the world, that's one of my goals personally, not necessarily company wise. Anywhere there's pan, it not and I didn't say panorama or competition. Anywhere
Yeah.
there's pan, I wanna go.
You're there.
I wanna see that place. I wanna
Nice.
see that place at least once in my life.
All right. So you want to come to Canada in the cold? I will.
I mean
I'll put.
I listen, sidebar, don't talk about Canada. I was just talking to a friend, a family
Mm-hmm.
friend who lives in Canada, and I was like, listen, we need to talk because I need to come to Canada.
Do you know what side of Canada? Was it like east or west?
She moved, she lives in BC now, I think.
Oh, that's near me. That's
I
like
think she lives there. So
that's like an hour
we were
flight.
talking about some of the ins and outs, because I was telling her like I've been aggressively getting marketing campaigns for immigration to Canada. I'm like, what is this?
Oh wow.
for months.
Okay
I
then.
would even I would even say a little over, because it was since before I moved back home. So that was
Yeah.
since 2018, 19. And over the last year it's been very consistent. And I mean, I don't search things Canada related, so it's not like
Right.
it's not like, oh, I'm Google searching things and they're sending me ads, but I'm constantly getting marketed for that. So hint
So it's
hint.
gonna happen. It's gonna
We'll
happen.
talk.
So if someone doesn't know how to transcribe music, but they have a song, hello tricks, um, can they come to you to get it transcribed, or do you have someone that can do it for them? How would
Both.
that work? Both? Okay.
So yeah, both. So again, I do work with a lot of people. Eventually, of course, I expect my company to start expanding, and
Hmm.
one of my goals would be like in the near future to be, employing people on a sort of contract basis. So it might be for a project. So say somebody wants 5 things transcribed.
Yeah.
Depending on how many other projects I have working on, I would be hiring people to work for me, and of course that would come with specifications and requirements. But I definitely oversee a lot of it to ensure that we're producing quality work,
Hmm.
because that's one of the things that I take pride in, that my work is up to standard and we're not putting out mediocre stuff here.
Right, right. If there was a band or a soloist that wants to travel, would you help them with their visa or just getting them started on that route? Would you go that far, or just kind of
Um,
direct them on where to go?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
One of the things. So one of the other things that I should mention, I have a partner company that is called the Mecca Travel and Tours. I keep mixing it up because it was
Right.
like tours and travels and tours. But it's
Same thing.
for the
Same thing.
interest of right now, it's
Yeah.
Mecca,
Okay.
Mecca, Mecca Travel and Tours.
All right. That's funny.
Yeah. So where we do again, travel bookings, and all of those things. So that is a partner company as well. And as you said, the name is Mecca, so you know it's affiliated.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah. So anybody, if you need help, you need guidance, that's not a problem. That can be
Okay.
done.
Okay. Good to see. I'm making notes.
Oh, you should be writing.
It's all up here. It's all up here. It's all up here. Once I start writing, I'll forget. I'm that kind of person. So before we end, I'm trying to get someone else on here, but they seem to be unable to join us. What is one fun fact about you that no one knows, besides that you can sing? But we'll.
I never said I can sing. Next thing people are calling me for singing gigs, and I'm just like,
You heard wrong. You
listen.
got your information correct.
So I knew this question was coming, and I was like, I,
Is there like a special meal that you're like the bomb at, or is there like a food
I
you
mean,
completely hate?
Karaili.
Oh.
I mean, I don't hate anything else.
Okay.
Karaili is an absolute no. I went into somebody's home and because they invited me, and I saw Karaili, and I immediately thought about walking back out. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
that would be rude. So okay.
So you stuck it out.
Yeah. I mean, my back was to it, so I didn't have to look at it, so I was fine.
Okay, good to know.
Other than that, I love curry. Um,
Someone said you're a
and
great organizer.
I am an amazing organizer. Like
Hmm.
let's put some respect on that.
Oh,
Let's put some,
okay.
that. So that is my sister that's commenting.
Oh,
Commenting.
I see. Hello, sister.
I am an amazing organizer. Like, let's put some respect on my name.
Oh, you're
Um,
gonna hear about it later when we come off.
Fun fact, I am not an only, as I just mentioned, I have a sister. I am not an only child. Most people think I am because they don't see me with siblings, but
Hmm.
she exists.
So it's just the you two?
Um, uh,
Is it just you two, or do you
I
have?
have I have other sibling, a brother and another sister. So I'm the last of four children for both of my parents.
Okay,
So that's
you're not
another.
twins.
And we are not
You're
twins.
not.
Thankfully, the twin police aren't on this live tonight,
So
because
you guys look very similar. I'm taking it.
I I don't see it. I mean, we are related, so
It's only fair
we
you
are.
kind of look similar, but you're not.
I don't see it, but there are some people apparently who need more than 20/20 vision.
You should post a picture of you and your sister so everyone
No,
can say no.
no,
I, I,
we're
I
not gonna
tried.
do that.
I tried. I tried. I'm trying to help you out, man.
So this is also my girlfriend who I'm about to disown, who's commenting about they do. Sis, do better.
I know
No,
nothing. If I hear about Kris doing something to someone, I know nothing.
no.
No.
Okay, we do not.
Is
We
she
we
like
resemble because we're siblings. That's about it,
that's as far as it goes,
in my opinion.
in your opinion? Okay.
And
And
that should be the only one that counts.
so she's calling you out. I am not a part of this. I am not a part what you two are doing. Right. I'm not. Nope. I see her comments.
So let me see. Let me see if I can give you a couple more. So I started school when I was about 3. I don't think nobody would know that. So I started school pretty young,
Okay. Okay.
and I basically was going to school consistently until I was brain fried at probably 18 or 19. Yeah.
Okay.
And I took a break and then I went back to school. So,
How long was your break? Like a year?
um, about maybe about a few months. Yeah.
Oh, a few months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's normally when people say a break, they're like a year or two. You
Well,
took
I
a
mean,
nap.
I know most people who like, oh, if you leave school, like you'll never go back, and I've never
Yeah.
really had that issue. So, yeah,
So you're a lover of school.
not really. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay.
I don't even know why I still want to go back, but I have a goal. I have a goal in mind. Let me don't say I don't know
There
why.
you
I have
go.
a goal in mind,
Yeah.
so I'm willing to suck it up for
Okay.
the sake of that goal.
Are you looking to get your master's in anything, or are you just
Well, I'm looking. I may get another master's.
okay?
Um, I'm thinking about either doing it directly in educational leadership or education.
Okay.
Um, but we'll see how it goes. That is in anticipation of possibly doing a PhD.
And you're doing it in
So
Trinidad, or are you gonna do it somewhere else? Or are you kind of still deciding?
undecided.
Undecided. That's fair.
It,
That's
it
fair.
really just kind of depends on opportunity, funding, and
Hmm.
kind of what's happening. So
Right.
hey, you never know if we migrate to Canada, we might go to school in Canada.
Well, I won't be going to school. I will visit you.
But
I
yeah, I
can't do the
mean,
school thing.
well, that is a thought. I haven't really figured that out yet. And with all of this happening,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
had to weigh the pros and cons and
That's
make
fair.
sure things are on like steady ground before we move forward.
That's fair. That's fair. You mentioned that you'll, with your management company, you also teach music. Is that correct?
Uh, yeah, it's not directly under it may not always be directly under this company because I do teach privately, which I didn't really
Okay.
funnel into Mecca. But
Okay.
under what we do is it's if somebody needs literacy and whatnot, then it can be channeled through myself depending on how
Hmm.
much work I have going on, or well, I have a lot of music educators that I know. So
Yeah. Okay. Do you think, just to get your opinion, do you think pan and music theory is important, or is it just depending on the person? What is your opinion on that?
so I want to say yes,
Hmm.
but I also want to say no as well.
Right.
Because I would only say no because it just depends on what your goals are.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you don't always have to go to school to get the education that you need. But some
Hmm.
people need they need the structure.
Right.
And having that structure is kind of important sometimes because you do get experiences in school that you won't get in the real world. Not
Right.
because not because it doesn't exist, but because of the infrastructure that's already set up, like your professors and stuff, they sort of guide you to things that you won't necessarily get full exposure to.
Right.
And that's a place where I sort of build your network, which
Hmm.
otherwise, yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah.
But I would always encourage people to, especially if you're younger. If you're younger or you're now starting out, I would definitely say yes, go get educated. It doesn't have to be a degree.
Hmm.
It could be a certificate. It could be just doing basic literacy so that you understand because it depends on how far you want to go with it. And if you do want to be in spaces with other professional musicians who are most of the time literate, then
Hmm.
that's going to come in handy. And perfect pitch or talent doesn't always get you where you want to go. Um, you can't fumble through it. I constantly tell some of my friends like I don't do full rehearsals anymore. Like I just played for a show a few weeks ago, and we practice maybe an hour and a half every week for like
Okay.
4 weeks.
Hmm.
And in an hour and a half, we're running through like 6, 7 pieces, depending on what we're doing that day.
Right.
But like I got accustomed to that because of my education. Because in school we have a 50-minute session and you have to run through a full repertoire. We're running through 8, 10 pieces. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't do that if you're not literate, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And there's nothing wrong with the rote system. There's nothing wrong with, being able to play by ear, because that is an amazing talent. Like not
Mm-hmm.
everybody could do that, but it does have its benefits, and I wish more people would see both of them as a perk and not try to pit one against the other as in, oh, this is better than the other. If
Yeah,
you have the best of both worlds, you'll be in a great position to be in any space.
I
Um,
agree. 100%.
and and that's the goal. Because if somebody call you for to do an ad campaign tomorrow or something, and they're like, oh, this is what we want to do. They have other musicians, and somebody pull out sheet music. Like, yeah, you can pick up on the spot, but when they start to make changes and when they start to like, I honestly, my brain, I'm just like, please don't ask me to do anything if you don't have sheet music. Like, I'm not the bestest sight reader in the world, but like, give
Yeah.
me a sheet music. Like, I can make notes. If we make changes, we can make changes on the spot. We can make changes while we're playing,
Yeah.
and we can still continue and function and still have like a successful show rather than just kind of fumbling through and kind of being uncomfortable.
Right.
So it has 100% more perks than it does the other way.
Yeah, for sure. Bree has a question. Since your company has so many branches, what are your plans to market and brand the company and promote every aspect of it? Oh,
So luckily, over the last 2 years, I've worked with an amazing company called M4. Um, and a strong component of them is, well, it's M4 Media Marketing Management, and I forgot what the other M is for.
mhm.
But they were like, we should rename it M5 because since you're named Mecca now, we could just pull you under. But
Right.
it's a company that I've been working on in other aspects because they pull me onto projects like I'm their resident production manager.
Okay.
I was just doing a project with them as the creative director. So we work on a lot of different things, and I've been getting a lot of experience in the marketing and
Mm,
creative direction, branding aspect of things, and I've been working on slowly implementing those things into my company. So I really didn't, even though I know like being public is a major thing, and I'm definitely working my way to get it. That wasn't an urgent area that I wanted to focus on because
right.
I do network and I do have friends who are now clients, um, and so on. So I've been networking more on the ground, and I wanted to sort of build that momentum rather than, oh yeah, just put a bunch of stuff out and then
Right.
it's mayhem.
Yeah.
So as time go along, like I've been working with them and they are amazing at doing marketing campaigns and whatnot, and they're definitely there sort of guiding me on how to kind of put things out and so on and so forth. So I will be working with them as I have been working with them on other projects in their company
Hmm.
to sort of roll it out one by one in a more public manner. So a lot of the things that we're talking about, I've done several of them on smaller scales, but
Right.
as we sort of go forward, yeah. So I
Okay.
hope that kind of answers your question, Brie.
Hopefully. So before we come to a close, do you want to mention your company and where they can find you? I'll also post it tomorrow and later tonight. Um, you do bands, soloists. Do you do tuners? Do you do arrangers? Like, yeah, you do everyone. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll let you
So
go ahead.
it it all encompasses. So I would just let me just read what the company profile is. So it's an
Mhm.
international full service entertainment management company. And as we mentioned earlier, we have a suite of services, and that falls under talent and talent management, event production, um, artist development, and general education. And we do service anybody that considers themselves an artist in the Caribbean and Caribbean diaspora. And examples of those would be if you're an instrumental musician, emphasis on instrumental, um, you are a transcriber, you are an arranger, you're an engineer, a composer. Outside of the music world, there are dancers, there are actors, and so on. But there's lighting technicians, there's producers, there are DJs. They all fall under the field of entertainment. And because of the company that I work with, I do have interaction with people who are in all of these fields. And it's not just, oh, yeah, just because you're an engineer or producer, you don't need management. You don't need, those sort of services. So, and especially virtual services, sometimes people get busy and they don't have time to type up a document. They don't have time to go through their emails. They don't have time to respond on their public pages. So those are things that we do, as I said, under the virtual services administrative side of things. And those are things we work with. So it may not be that everybody needs a representation.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times when you think about this is that, oh, everybody wants a representation. And that's fine. We could talk about that too. But everybody may need a service. So you might just need one service or you might need multiple services. So it really depends on what you want to do. And we will help you facilitate that.
Sounds good. So you can put a DJ and a dancer together, or a DJ and a pianist together. Is that what you're? Can you do that? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. It's not about what I want to do.
I just want to see what your limits are.
It's not about what I want to do, and this is so. Remember, this is not my personal preference. So when we are talking about a creative situation, it's about what your needs are, and the most I would do is facilitate. Okay, this makes a little bit of sense, or this is how I can help you shape this idea so it's even better.
Okay.
You always have to put little disclaimers there that people come with some kind of out of the box type of things.
Right.
But, I'm open. I don't judge. I always tell people that. I don't judge. I might watch you questionable, but hey, do you?
Right. Whatever works for you, I'll help.
Exactly. Is this paying the bills? Okay, great. We're doing it.
Okay.
Does it pay the bills? We're doing it. Cool. Okay. We'll figure out a way and we'll find a way to make it look presentable, because at the end of the day, it's my name behind us. We're gonna pull it together.
Nice. I like that. Is there anything else you'd like to let everyone know before we call it a night?
I want to shout out to one of my good friends who I didn't see come on the live tonight, but maybe he's on here and I don't know. His name is Mark Brooks.
Okay.
He's a friend turned client.
Okay.
Sketch. So that may be another fun fact that he and we work together a lot, and we started out. He had asked me to come and drill ad-lib steel orchestra for the last Panorama. So that was another amazing situation, and the band came second. So it definitely felt like we won.
Hey,
no shade.
That's what it
no
feels
shade.
like to you? I mean,
listen. You had to be there. You had to be there to know why that makes sense. Okay. But we could talk about that. Yeah, but yeah, so specific shout out to Mark. Hey, what's up? Hope you're okay. We're gonna have some words after this. We can have some words after this. But yeah, so that's kind of I don't think there's anything else. Oh, I did want to mention that I do have a, what do you call it, student package happening right now.
Okay.
So it's a select group of services. I don't know if I know all of them at the moment, but I have a set list of services that I'm doing at basically half price for students.
Okay.
So
And how
If you
long are you
are a
doing that for?
student, my goal was to go until about January 2nd. I could possibly extend it. I want to see how things go over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Um, but it consisted of about three free consultations, up to three, if
Mm-hmm.
depending if they needed, about 50% of services, and then I would sort of work with the lecturers or professors of the students to sort of create a sort of a free package
Yeah.
for up to about two students based on the educator's choice. So it's
Okay.
not gonna be my choice, and nobody can watch me and be like, "Oh, you didn't pick me. It
Right.
wasn't me."
Just
I'm gonna
like,
full shaggy on that.
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Full shaggy on that. It wasn't me. So if you are interested in any of, I can list a couple of these services. Let me just pull it up right quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Like getting writers, like CVs, resumes, getting a bio or artist statement done. Um, if you're applying to school or you're applying for something and you need to get like a education philosophy, if you're into teaching, or if you want to teacher statements, um, and if you want to do sort of, or if you're into a little bit more production of your music and you want to do audio work, sort of mastering and mixing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or you generally need assistance applying for school, searching for scholarships, searching for programs. If you just need assistance and you're trying to further your education to whatever the next level is,
Mm-hmm.
um, those are a set of services that I'm offering for half price, or free would be the consultation, management consultations. If you have applications, if you need reviews, or you just generally want some career guidance,
Right.
that would be free as well.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
if you are in an educational institution and you feel like these services would help you because you want to get something in place before you finish school,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that again.
Say it
You want to
again.
put things in place before, and not even like the year before. Like if you're in undergrad and you're in year 2, year 3, you want to start putting things in place now
Mm-hmm.
for when you're done, or if you're not in school and you're trying to transition into or whatever, then yeah. But if you're in school and you want to get these services done, like I would suggest like reaching out to your lecturer or your professors and sort of have them reach out to me so that I can create this student package and kind of have it for a group of students, cause, rather than just one. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And would you have the information on your website or on Instagram so people can just kind of see what rules they need or what they need to do?
Um, Yeah, so right
Yeah.
now we are only on IG. I haven't
Okay.
created my website is in progress,
Okay.
but it will take a while for that to kind of be
Yeah.
fully completed.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, so you can get me on IG at Mecca underscore management, or you can email Mecca management int at gmail.com. Or
Awesome.
you can WhatsApp. I will also send you this, but you can WhatsApp 868-377-9266.
Great.
Yeah,
Make sure you send
yeah,
me all that info so I can post it.
yeah. But I would over the maybe tomorrow. Today is Monday. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow I will also post something about the student package, so people who are interested, you can reach out,
Mm-hmm.
um, or you can message on my personal Instagram, and I'll just send you over to, which is, what is my Instagram name?
Okay.
Just
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 Kris.
just under just under underscore Kris.
It's a day. It's been a day. It's been a day. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah, so you can get me any on any of those. Of course, if you're getting me directly, on my personal page. But if you want any information specific to the company, you can message Mecca, and somebody will respond to you there.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on and talking about your amazing entrepreneurship. I approve. You're filling a void. You're filling a void. You're definitely filling a void.
I hope so.
You are.
I hope we can look back 10 years from now and see some amazing things happen. So,
Definitely. Definitely.
but thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
As always, I have a great time coming on here.
Thank you.
And thanks, Brie, for tuning in. Like Brie and I were talking
Yes.
earlier. Like, I missed her.
So a trip needs to happen between you and Bree. Someone needs to go somewhere.
Listen, COVID
Oh,
says otherwise.
also true. But it's gonna disappear next year.
We can all pray for
I
that.
know, I know, I know.
We can pray.
I
We
know.
can pray.
Oh, geez.
But yeah,
Well,
we'll all meet at one point in time and we'll all celebrate making it
definitely.
through.
Yes, definitely. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. It was a great conversation. We're going to do this again soon. I feel like it's going to be an open discussion with Bree. Bree's going to join us. Oh, she has class. She's in class right now.
Yeah, she was mentioning she had class during our
Oh,
lifetime now.
well,
So
I appreciate you for taking time, Bree. Go back to
yeah, I
class
have to
now.
shout
I don't want,
her
yeah, I don't want to get you in trouble. So go back to class.
out.
Once again, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to do this again soon. Enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and see you guys next Monday. Have a good night.
Bye.